Hello everyone, and welcome back to Technically Unsure, where I'm not really sure what I'm doing technically.
What am I doing?
So I know this is a little bit different than how I usually record my videos and show you guys what's happening, which happens right over there. But this box was so big and heavy, I didn't want to risk it to break my table, maybe, I don't know. Also the spacing to show you guys what's happening in here. So I received this box and I haven't opened it. I don't know what to expect in there. This one is coming actually from Eric from OPNNAS. So what they are doing is basically they give you a full-blown chassis, a case for running your NAS on it. They don't lock it down. They don't have a proprietary software, even hardware or anything like that. It's all open, as the name suggests, OPNNAS. And what they are doing is basically giving you a very well-built NAS case and enclosure, and you will be able to do whatever you want. And when it comes to do what I want, and when it's time for a NAS, I always go with TrueNAS. So we can debate truenascore or scale, but I just want to show you guys what's happening in here. I see a note in here. First, let me see if there's anything. Hey, technically unsure, like you to question everything, but there's no doubt in our minds that the Slate D12 Pro is a beast. 128 gigabyte of ECC DDR5 RAM, the best transcoding iGPU, and 12 bays of pure storage freedom, which Eric, when he was telling me that you can plug SATA disk, SAS disk, U2, U3, there is a lot of options basically you can insert and use it in your NAS, and it's ridiculously expandable, so you can push it as far as you want. We're super excited for you to put it through its paces, stress it, push it, throw it all your workloads at it. We're sure it can handle whatever you've got, and just make sure testing is even better. We throw some classic Canadian snacks. Oh, thank you. So we are going to check Canadian snacks apparently, as well as a Canadian NAS. By the way, I forgot, OPNNAS is a Canadian company, so they send it from Canada. And Eric was telling me, I know there is a lot of stuff going on regarding tariffs and stuff. Yeah, so they say they are trying their best with their suppliers and components and everything they're using to make sure that it does not really affect the customers, you guys. So the tariffs won't affect the pricing. So what you see is going to be what you get. So yeah, it was under the ribbon. I didn't see the logo. So yeah, it's an OPNNAS logo over here and the Technically Unsure over here. So they sent this box specifically to me. Let's open it up together, shall we? Ta-da! All right, so Lay's ketchup is over here, which we are going to eat while we are doing what we are doing. Okay, so, oh yeah, I think we talked about it. Yes, he said he's going to send me a sample disk as well. This one is a PM983 2.5 PCIe Gen 3 disk, U3. That basically we can try this in this NAS. And there is a bunch of 3.5-inch hard disk screws. Thank you, Eric, although I had a lot of these, but I think some of these also are pretty standard. Yeah, this one, I know he told me he's going to send me, but I think these are pretty standard. SSD screws, 3.5-inch screws. These are for everybody. When you buy this, I think, if it is not, I will correct myself, but I believe these comes like as a standard kit. And also they send you a bunch of zip ties for cable management, some more this style, I guess. So that being said, let's see what is happening here. Yeah, so this is the SAS HBA 4X SAS HBA card. Basically, you can insert it as connected to some additional disks if the 12 is not enough. I think it's more than enough, but yeah, in case you want more. So I am going to just take this out and the disk. I don't think I'm gonna need those for now, so I'm gonna put those away. All right, let's keep going. And oh my god, all right, nothing else in here. Even this is OPNNAS. That's very nice. I don't want to break anything, and it's very heavy. I took it out. Let me remove the box. All right, so I brought this out of box. This one was also in the box, which is the power cord, in this case the US one, and bunch of SATA power cables, a PCIe cable, as well as Molex. So a bunch of power cables. Let's take this out. Ta-da! This is what I'm talking about. Isn't it beautiful? And these are, remind me of like Dell servers. Okay, yeah, so this is where you can plug all sorts of disks, and this is 12 one, right? So you can put 12 over here. So 12, and there's a power button, hard disk activity light, and reset. This is the reset button over there. USB 3 and also USB see. Now let's take a look at the back. I'm kind of sure this is 10 gigabit Ethernet, and these are used internal, nothing exposed, which I know it is connected to the disks. Basically, SAS connection to disks and controlling disks. And there is a full audio stuff over here, microphone and speaker and all that stuff. A gigabit Ethernet here, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet here, 2 USB 3.2. These two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 USB 3, 7, 8. There's more, sorry. 8 USB 3.0, a PS2 keyboard port, display port 1, display port 2, HDMI, and a COM port. And plenty of fans. And the power supply is over here, which you can turn it on and off over here. Just beautiful. But we have to get into this. So it's all thumb screw. I am going to open these all up, and hopefully it's that easy. Actually, seems like screwdriver is needed for one screw, which is this one. All right, so let me grab that. Oh, actually, there is 2 more screws right over here and over here. So we have to open 3 screws to get the cover. And by the way, while we are at this angle, you can see the rubber feet as well. They are screwed in and they are solid. This is a heavy case, so it has to be able to handle the weight, which I'm pretty sure it does from the looks of it. So let's put it back. This bad boy is heavy, making me work out, no matter how much I avoid working out. All right, let's take a look at this beautiful NAS. So over here, it looks like tilted, but I hope that's just how it is, right? I believe so. Inside, as I said, these are controllers for the disks and pretty neat cable management. They are all going down, and this is a 450 watt power supply, small size and good one. And there is plenty of PCIe lanes, which we are going to go through it. And as you can see over here, this is a PCIe Gen 5 X8. This is PCIe X4 Gen 4, X4 Gen 4, and this one is X8 Gen 4, X4 Gen 4, I believe, and another one. And that one, the last one, I don't know that one. I have to check that one on the specs. I'll put it on the screen. So you have plenty of room if you want to add an external GPU of sorts. So X4 is over here, X4 is over here. I would use this one, Gen 5 X8. It's more than enough to run all sorts of graphic cards. Ideal, obviously, would be X16, but X8 is plenty. And you can use probably something like, if you're going to use this as a NAS, you can install, I would say, Tesla card, V100, things of that sort, lightweight, passive cooled, right? Or if you want to get something much more powerful, you can get something like 3090, 4090, something like that. And the 4070, I think, is more ideal, but keep this in mind, okay? So what it comes here is 450 watts. It's more than enough. So the wattage, the CPU, let's talk about the specs. So they already shipped it with, I believe, 1 stick of RAM. Let me check that one. I told them I have a lot of RAMs. So this is a DDR5, EC4, and 5600 RAM. So I love it that it's DDR5. It does have UDIM 32 gigabytes. So I am going to first just boot it with whatever Eric shipped it to me, OPNNAS team shipped it to me. If everything worked well, I'm going to explore a couple of my RAM options if I can expand it with some faster and higher capacity of RAM. And as you can see, there's like 4 RAM slots. If you can't see it, that's because I haven't tilted it. There you go. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 RAM slots right over here. Okay, so this one is coming with the Intel i5-13500, which is 14 cores. 6 of them is like performance cores, 8 of them is efficiency cores, and total of 20 threads. And the maximum power consumption of the CPU, I believe the TDP that Intel says, the max TDP, that's 154 watts. So with that in mind, let's just guesstimate 154 watts max for CPU. The motherboard, the SAS cards, the disks, and the RAM, I don't know, just add a 60-70 watts, just saying, add for that. So call it 220 watt already used for this. So you would have 250 watts-ish, maybe more, maybe 300 watts wiggle room for your graphics card. But I wouldn't wouldn't push it too hard. Oh, by the way, the brand is Thermaltake. I just noticed that. Tough Power 450. It's an SFX power, right? Power supply. And you can replace it, I guess, with another Thermaltake, so you don't have to really replace the cables. Like similar Tough Power series. Get something higher if you want to. But I believe this is more than enough. As I said, 150, that's like max for the CPU. With fans and all that stuff, I wouldn't add more than 60 watts or 70 watts for everything else. So 220, call it, and you would have 230, 250 watt-ish available for your GPU. And also keep in mind the cooling and everything and the height. Let me see, hold on a second. So this is a 4070 that I use all in my videos. So let me see. I'm just trying, but in reality, you have to just remove this and it's much easier. You can maybe do it, but I would not recommend it. So let's just remove this and install it properly. Okay, now let's try. I'm not going to install it, I'm just testing, okay? Yep, there you go, something like that. I haven't installed it, I'm just telling you that you can do it something like that and it would definitely fit. And here you can lock it back in. So absolutely similar cards and a little bit longer cards. This is kinda the cap. A little bit longer, you have some more space, but I wouldn't try anything bigger. Let me see. Here I have RX 9070, right? Is that it? Yep, RX 9070 XT. So this is the XT version. And well, no, it's a no. It's hitting the fans. Okay, so yeah, as I said, this won't fit, like full size cards won't fit, but 4070, absolutely. Yep, I think I found you guys the best possible graphics card for this. This is 200 watts max. And as I said, this is GeForce RTX from Asus, and this is white version, doesn't matter. But like, yeah, 4070 ideal size-wise, power consumption-wise, and the PCIe connector requirements-wise, you know what I mean. So this is a perfect card for this case. So you know what? I might as well just install this over there. Let me finish up the show. So here is, as you can see in there, these are where the discs are, and this is the back plane. I don't know how much of it you can see, but yeah, you can see it, right? So over there, what I'm going to do is I am going to install the GPU, put this bracket on, put the cover on. Let's take a look at it under software with like TrueNAS, Proxmox, and a bunch of other things. Is there a PCIe NVMe SSD? There's a bunch of ports over here, ports over there. Oh yeah, there is one right over here, okay? There is one NVMe Gen 4. I will install an NVMe SSD over there as well. So in summary, I will put an NVMe SSD over here, install the graphics card, connect the power cable, put everything back together, and the software wise, I won't do anything. We will do it all together. Give me a couple of minutes. Okay, so before I proceed the rest of it, I just want to show you, I used their own cable that they shipped it. I showed you in the beginning of the video, right? One of these, right? I inserted 4070 right over here, and this part, you just tear it off. And in terms of disk, I just want to show you, this is the U3 one that they shipped, right? So we can put it like this. As you can see, the screw holes just straight up, lines up right over here. You can install like that. You can install full-blown disk like this, and you just have to put the screws. It just lines up perfectly. Very smooth install. You can't miss it. And this is for a regular mechanical disk. This one happens to be the Western Digital Gold, if it matters, 2 terabyte. And if we want to do it with a SATA disk, holes line up again exactly like the other one. There you go. You can install a U3, or you can install a mechanical disk. So I want to show you guys storage power. So I will do a lot of these. I will see what I have laying around. I should have a bunch of these. 18 terabyte, I think I have more of it. I don't want to mix, so I will put a bunch of 18 terabytes. I will put a couple SATA like this as well for cache, and then set up a TrueNAS server with you guys. You're gonna see everything. I just wanted you to see the 4070 seated in there along with the cable. So this looks tight, but it's actually not. There's no pressure. I checked where the cable is inserted to the graphics card. There you have it. Everything is ready. Now we're going to go to the software. Okay, so finally I'm done. Basically what I did is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I installed 10 18 terabyte Western Digital Gold disks. So basically 118 terabytes of just the mechanical disk. I'm going to use one of these that U3 disks that Eric sent, OPNNAS team sent. Probably I will use one, let's say for log, one for cache. This is one. And second one is this 870 Samsung 8 terabyte disk. I will use for cache, one for log, to just create some TrueNAS and also show you guys that all sorts of disks are supported as claimed by the OPNNAS team. So that's done. The only thing remaining is putting an NVMe SSD into this and installing the operating system and playing around it. I think when I do the VDEV, because it's 10 disks, I will do 5 and 5. 2 VDEVs, but we'll see what I figure out. So yeah, let's go to software side. Let me put that NVMe SSD and we take it from there. All right, everything should be ready now. It's time to power it up. Okay, I think everything is ready and I have to add one correction. There is another M.2 NVMe SSD slot over here. And also there's a USB, 2 USB ports. I guess you can use it to power something or insert a low speed, I guess disk or something. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, fan started, okay. Okay, so we got the post. So here you go. We have the RAM, which is 32 gigabyte. It detected our disks. So let's walk through the options over here. Intel i5 13500 and 32 gigabyte RAM and 4 gigahertz speed, 4000 megahertz, whatever. CPU configuration. Here is the virtualization. I just turned it on right now, so I don't know. I didn't change anything. This is exactly how it comes. C states turbo mode all enabled. SATA configuration. This is all the disk and stuff. And onboard devices, there is a Super IO configuration here for all the ports and parallel port and all that. There's trusted computing, TPM already there. I did not install anything. It does have PTT, does have a TPM. Power management here, watchdog configuration, hardware monitor. Yeah, that's chilly. I didn't close it. I just wanted to keep an eye on it. So 29 Celsius CPU, 22 system temperature. That's kind of 22 is kind of my room. And the fans are spinning. The most important thing is it's very, very quiet. So far, I haven't done any benchmark, but right now I can tell you basically it is completely noiseless. Let's just say that. There is absolutely no noise coming from this. Very, very quiet. Very little, just a fan noise. But I can tell the fans are high quality. So they are DFG brand and they are extremely quiet. We will do a noise test after all this, okay? Yeah, CPU smart fan, system smart fan, all that stuff. NVMe configuration, network stack, chipset stuff over here, memory config, that's 4 gigahertz, DDR5, Hynix, and boot, that's the UEFI hard disk. I have to remove one of them. The USB is Ventoy. I have the TrueNAS in the Ventoy, so we are going to use that to install. Yep, that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to install TrueNAS and then we take it from there. Okay, in case you don't believe me, I turn it off and look, I'm going to be quiet and just look at the noise levels and then I'm going to turn it on and you tell me if anything changes, okay? So 1, 2, 3. You got the point. When I'm not talking, it just makes absolutely no noise. So let's just continue as I said. To install the TrueNAS, I am going to go with Core. By the way, one quick note, as it is booting, take a look at the power consumption. Remember, I placed a 4070 in this. With that, it is drawing 152 watts, okay? Keep that in mind. So we will later to do it without a 4070, but for now it's already installed. I just want to see how everything turns out and then we take it from there. Okay, I have to mention one thing. I just decided to remove it because I want to establish a power baseline. So I removed the 4070. So without it, right now, with every single disk populated and NVMe SSD installed and USB, HDMI, everything powered on, and I'm now using HDMI port from the motherboard and all the fans are churning and spinning and disks are there, we are getting 118 watts. Let's establish that first. And there's also MEBX right here. There's Intel ME in this, so we're gonna explore that later. But I just wanted to show you guys that this is the baseline, which is 130, 140 140 watt, whatever it is. So 129, 27, 28. So this is the power consumption of this computer, this case, this NAS. So yeah, let's install TrueNAS and then we take it from there. All right, guys, we are back. Couple small things that I had to improvise as I was making progress. Somehow just this disk didn't work. So I replaced it with my own 4 terabyte one. So that being said, let me show you my screen. So as you can see here, the 172.16.181 is the NAS. And if we go here, we're going to see that this is the NAS and I use the same user pass. There you go. Another thing that I had to improvise was the truenascale. truenascore somehow didn't work, and during the installer, it just didn't work. Anyway, and as you can see right now, we are idle, no GPU, every single disk populated, absolutely quiet, zero noise, and we are using 100 watts. So I was correct, and I think at 200, 250 it should be max you're gonna use, because we haven't even did anything heavy with the CPU, but I have seen at the beginning it spikes to 220-ish. So I believe that's the cap. Anyway, let's keep going. So what I did was I basically created a storage, a pool, and what I did was I said, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5 going to be VDev1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going to be VDev2. Together though, one pool, and then one 8 terabyte one cache, 4 terabyte log device. That's obviously not correct, because like log at least you need 2, and to do a mirror stripe or something else I just went with 1, and cache it's okay, but it's better to have faster disk, but that's what I used. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, as you can see, usable capacity with RAID Z2 2 VDevs is 100 terabytes. That's 96. I'm rounding it up to 100. Sue me. So I have 100 terabyte storage right here. I'm going to now first confirm that we have a 10 gigabit, and then we have to do the test. So I perf 3. So as you can see, yep, we have a 10 gigabit link and connection. So this computer that I'm recording from is 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, unfortunately. So I'm going to try first with this, and then I'm going to go to my work computer and quickly record one video for you so you can see how fast it will go, okay? So what I'm going to do is I created a share, I called it my data. Okay, so here it is, 172.16.181, okay, and this is my data, and I am going to go to the large files folder. These are test files, and I'm going to copy and paste this. And if it drops even a second below this 280 to 83 megabytes per second range, I'm going to be very disappointed, but I have a hunch that it's never going to happen, not even for a second. Let me see if I can jinx it. So far, I didn't jinx it. Yeah, I didn't jinx it. This is very, very fast computer NAS, whatever you want to call it, and very impressive. It was very smooth to set things up. The disk slots were very easy to install and put it down, and replacing parts and components are easy, taking everything, and it looks so neat, so beautiful. Anyway, so that is nothing for this bad boy, 2.5 gigabit. So let's go to my other computer. Okay, so as you can see, I have right here a 10 gigabyte file, okay? I am going to copy this over to this here. Let's see the speed. And yep, that's exactly right. 10 gigabit per second transfer. And if I copy the other way, I am going to rename this. So I am going to copy from the NAS to my computer, and this is the read speed. So that was write and this is read. Overall, very, very fast, very impressive speeds. And this is exactly what I was expecting from this bad boy. So we got that working. We tested everything. You saw the speeds, very nice. So you saw the power consumption as I was doing the tests, so you know how much power it is using. So now the time I'm done with the TrueNAS. So this is where you can do a NAS. Okay, this is the NAS part is complete. I showed you guys the speeds, the setup, and everything. What I'm gonna do is now a little bit of the benchmark. So I'm going to do an Ubuntu, and then finally I am going to try the graphic card as well. So what I'm going to do is just put a Ubuntu disk and let's boot into it. Just right before we leave, I just want to show you that everything is working here, by the way. Even if it doesn't work, it's nothing related to the NAS. It's probably something I did wrong or TrueNAS issues, which I'm not really big fan of. I'm not a user, let's not say fan. I'm not a big user of truenascale. I always use the truenascore. But yeah, here is the same thing. You have all your applications, and if you want to install something, you just click on it, you click on install, and it installs, which it doesn't now, so you have to figure it out, fix it. Yeah, you get the idea. But it just works, okay? Everything is working here, and data set is there. This is my data, 100 terabytes-ish, and RAID Z2. Yeah, there's nothing else. I just wanted to show you. So I'm going to restart, and then now we are going to go and change the boot. Okay, so we are in Ubuntu, and I am going to do a neofetch, and as you can see, this is the device, okay? And what I'm gonna do is a very quick stress ng. Okay, now we are going to do a stress ng test and keep an eye on the power consumption. 240, okay. So I was off by like 10-20 watts, okay? So when you're using every single disk slot and these 10 gigabit ethernet and these HBA and the connection to SATA disks and all that, disk controllers and the CPU. So when you're using basically almost everything, all the fans are spinning crazy, you're getting 240 watts. So considering this is 450, let's go with the 200 watt GPU to stay on the safe side. So 4070 that I showed you guys, that's the cap, and keep it that way. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's take a look at it, how many BOGO ops we get. Oh my god, okay. So we got 735,000 in total for 30 seconds, but per second is 24,464. So it is a very, very capable and powerful CPU, and it does have a very good GPU as well, and it can do on its own without a GPU, it can do a lot of transcoding of videos and everything. But don't worry, I'm going to show you more, and we're going to try the 4070 as well. That being said, in Ubuntu, I just want to show you also a Llama stuff. So we have a 32 gigabyte RAM though. We can't do really much because of the RAM, but let's try this one, I guess. Let's see if it works. I mean, it will work, but is it usable? Let's use the same prompt we usually do. Okay, that's definitely usable. So that's gonna come back probably 3 or 4 tokens a second. So as you can see, this is the performance, and the power consumption is 180. So we are not really pushing the CPU to the limits, which is like 240. It's 180, not really bothering the CPU much, and that's the speed. Hopefully, you know, you will get to be able to run like bigger models with more RAM. But yeah, this is what we are seeing on the screen. So let's see how it does. So yeah, my eyes are getting better at detecting the tokens per second. So 3.3 tokens per second, and you saw the fast forwarded footage. That's what you're getting with this CPU with Llama 14B model, okay, with a 32 gigabyte RAM. So it is absolutely capable CPU, very nice case, NAS basically. We got a good understanding of the power consumption. Now it's time to put back the GPU and let's push the limits with the GPU as well, okay? All right, give me a couple of seconds. Okay, so what I did was, basically, as you can see on the screen, I installed the Proxmox, and that's the IP 172.16.1.4, and I installed a 4070 on this bad boy. So let's go back to my computer, and there you have it. I go here in the summary, you will see that this is the i5-13500 CPU. What I want to show you very quickly is that when it is basically kind of idle and no VM, no container is running, it's 127 watts. Now watch what happens and how long it takes to boot. Okay, 1, 2, that's it. There you go. It's snappy. It's very fast. Okay, there you can see it's very fast. And if we go to a Windows machine, and if I go to the hardware, this is the device. I have to find the, oh yeah, that's it. Okay, seems like everything was in order. So I am going to boot a Windows machine, and I am going to pass through this 4070 to a Windows Windows host and hopefully see how it does in there. Okay, sorry. So the Windows VM have some issues. I don't know what's happening. I booted, basically I went here. There you go. I have the same pass-through for the Ubuntu desktop. So nothing about this. It's just my setup, some issues. I will resolve it later. So if I go into the Ubuntu VM, as you can see here, if I do NVIDIA SMI, you will see that my NVIDIA 4070 is detected and it is working fine. In order to test it more, let me show you. So we are at 119 watt-ish when an Ubuntu VM is loaded and Proxmox is working, right? But look what happens if I do a hashcat benchmark, just to do hash cracking, basically using the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4070. You can see, there you go, 330 watts. So we are capping it. And if I open another tab over here, okay, if I go NVIDIA SMI, as that one is running, as you can see, we are 100% utilization. So we are at 100% utilization, and it went up to like 330 watts-ish, okay? If you do at the same time a CPU benchmark, yeah, that's going to be kind of like 450 watts. That's going to be capped. So as I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't go anything above 200 watts for a GPU, okay? So that is it, I guess. I showed you guys Proxmox, showed you guys Ubuntu, I showed you guys TrueNAS. Everything is working in this beautiful, beautiful NAS. One thing I didn't show you, but I did it, was when I was taking this off. It was hot plug. I didn't restart TrueNAS or anything. I just took the one that wasn't working out and I replaced it and I pushed it back and it started working, okay? So just so you know. And yeah, everything else that I tested worked very well, and it is very quiet and very neat and fancy looking, honestly. I don't think I've seen any NAS this beautiful and this open, as it says, OPNNAS, right? So there is no software and you're not locked to anything. You don't like something here, you can replace it. Example would be the power supply, and the software is completely in your control. The price is very fair. Okay, so in terms of pricing, Kickstarter campaign, they have already started. So I'm going to put the link down in the description. So there's like 4 variants. You can see the comparison and differences between them. And the MSRP, you know, or pricing is like 2,500, 30,000, stuff like that. But if you start and join with the early access pricing, it comes down like 40% off. So the prices, like for SLD12 Pro, it's going to be $1,980, and the SLD12 is going to be $1,500, and the SLR12 Pro is $1,800, and SLR12 is $1,500. The prices are very lower if you go and support them on their Kickstarter campaign. Okay, I said it, Kickstarter, it's Indiegogo, but yeah, you get the idea. So crowdfunding, if you go at the crowdfunding stage, you will be able to get it for like 1,500 bucks. And you will get this beautiful case as CPU and RAM. I think the RAM is included. I'm pretty sure about that. Power supply, everything included. So whatever you saw in this video is included, except this, that they sent it to me because I was talking to Eric. I said, I don't think I have one UDA to drive like this. So he just kind of just sent this to me. That take this out. Whatever else you saw in here is included in the original packaging and everything. I really, really enjoyed the building and playing around this. It's just a very powerful NAS. The most important thing that I like about it is the CPU and how low power consuming it is and how powerful it is, and the beauty of the NAS itself. It's very neat. And the thermals were cool throughout the test, and fans are not making any noise. That is very special to me. I already have a lot of computers in my room. When some computer makes a lot of noise, I gotta go and tweak and make it not make that noise. So yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. If I know the answer, I will let you know. If not, I will obviously contact the people at OPNNAS and get you the answers. All right, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.